Cause at Rolling Loud too. Like that nigga, he had that shit lit. I didn't see it though. I missed it, but
He's the biggest artist, bro. I was telling Gene and Glad when I first heard it. I'm like, bro,
mm,
this little nigga is about to be the next let's say little baby, but he's about to be that nigga, bro.
yeah, he could be a little baby, yeah. Little baby falling off. Act putting dirt on his name.
Yeah, I gotta stop that though.
Nah, keep going, bro. I don't fuck with little baby, yeah.
See, I like his music, but see, I know what he's doing, bro. He know he got like a beehive behind
Mm,
him. You know what I'm saying? Little baby don't got that, bro. He don't got no beehive.
he's stupid, yo. Little baby
You
a
know what I'm
follow.
saying?
Yo, you know I hate followers, bro. Like little baby's a yes man, yo.
You think so?
Yes, yo. They dress that nigga. He's a ventriloquist, yo. They dress that nigga up. Any day, yo. You see, this nigga be dressing in women's clothes.
I've seen that with the green romper.
Yeah, like this nigga be dressed like anything that yo bitches be like the girl Jada. What's the girl name? Jada Waiter. Jada Waiter. She
Yeah.
probably was dressing that nigga like that too. She probably was like, yo, this shit look
See,
good on
when niggas like him and Meek Mill a little dirt,
you.
I kind of lose interest in them.
Yeah.
Cause I expect niggas like Ski Mask and Trippie Red to do that.
Mm,
These niggas get so lost in stardom. They
mm,
fall in love with Hollywood and trying to be a model, and they lose who they are.
yeah. I feel like most of these niggas don't have an identity. Like even like, cause I know you heard me say this many times. What's the name? For order for little baby to be where he was now, he had to use the Yachty money, the Migos money. Yo, the Migos broke up because of him. You can if we want to play the blame game, you can say that this the reason why Takeoff is dead is because of this nigga.
Damn.
I mean that's a stretch, but you get where I'm going with it, right? Like he's the problem. He's basically it's basically like if me and you we go sign somewhere and we go hard to build this label up, and then we some dumbass nigga, face ass nigga you pulled off the street and you just dress him up and like make this nigga say whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them niggas.
I feel like Lil Baby played his role when he signed up for the team.
Yeah.
He let some short, they let the short bus niggas take. That's Migos' fault.
Yeah.
Baby came, even though he's stupid, he sound good,
Yeah.
you know, but it's kind of exposed now.
Yeah. Like baby to me, who can I think of as baby? Like a baby before him.
Uh,
Trying to think. Fuck. I can't think too long. Well, I'll think of it now. Like, but like baby, like he's just a ventriloquist, yo. Yo, he's Jay Z. Yo, he's Jay Z. But Jay Z successfully was like he's a businessman. Like,
I feel like Lil Baby, bro, he should have chose a different route.
yo, little baby. Yo, what was little baby before he was a rapper? Yo, I think he was a shooter. Yo,
He was a trapper.
you say he was a what?
He was a trapper. I seen his Amazon documentary, bro,
Oh,
and he seemed like he was really, niggas in his hood was really on that. So he was basically the hood nigga that knew how to make money, and Doug had found this nigga because he was buying drugs. So
mm.
yo, I want to put you in the studio, blah blah blah.
But
Baby probably finessed Doug, got rich, made his own label, went to QC because QC got this whole story like, oh, we discovered him and we put him. I think it's all cap. I
yeah,
think
I
it's a
think
cover up.
definitely. But keep going. I definitely a cover up. Yeah.
QC, I feel like QC only find niggas as far as like OG Mac on Yachty level.
Mm.
Because if that's the case, they'll be like, yo, Gotti artists.
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I feel like Yo Gotti have people coming to the label because Yo Gotti put nigga in position. I feel like they created this nigga to Like, you know, the real gangsters might be P or like whoever else, and you just have niggas writers because. You know, I gotta use academics as a source. He said that Lil Baby, a lot of niggas said a lot of his hits. You know how niggas be in the me and you be in the studio writing our hits. Like, let's just say I'm Lil Baby and you whoever. While you doing your verse, I'll be somewhere else having niggas write my shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
I learn it and I come back like, yo, no, and then my verse is way better than your shit because I had 20 writers and shit. But you know, I'm Lil Baby. I'm Lil Baby.
I mean, at
Yeah,
the end of the day,
yeah. Well, no, where's that going?
at the end of the day, Lil Baby gonna go down as a legend. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Cause he's the only rapper that can go like toe for toe with Drake. I haven't heard a big hit from Drake since Tootsie Slide, really.
Yeah.
You know, man.
No, I hear you. Like you talking about rapping
Yeah,
wise?
rapper. He's the
Cause
only rapper that contested Drake.
I mean, I guess so. Can't think of nobody right now.
You're kidding, bro, because he's the only one that went bar for bar, song for song, consistency. Like, Baby was consistent, bro.
Yo, Gunna said another stuff.
Nah, Gunna was consistent too,
Yeah.
but Gunna's more of like drug music.
Yeah. But Gunna, he's Gunna to me is more of a feature dude. Even though his album was lit, he still give me feature like as a feature dude. Like Lil Baby actually had. Nah, Gunna had hits. Did Gunna? Yeah, Gunna had hits by itself, but they don't probably hit harder than Lil Baby's singles.
Nah, see, Gunna got like car singles. Baby
Mm.
got club singles. You go to club and blast and shit.
Or you funny as hell because them cars like Gunna shit do be bump. But like you know what I'm saying, last year when we went to Rolling Loud, Gunna shit was bumping so much that because like they had Young Thug and Gunna going at the same time. So I'm like, damn, yo, Gunna, if Gunna would have just went, damn, yo, Gunna could have been bigger than Lil Baby. I believe, yo.
I don't think he wanna be because you gotta remember Gunna started with Lil Baby.
Yeah.
They came up at the same time when Baby was recording. That's my dog. Gunna wasn't even a rapper, but he was in all their videos.
Mm.
I think Gunna got caught up, yeah.
Gunna definitely get caught. Yo, it's sad because Gunna got caught up though, but it's just like you know how the streets is though. Like, cause me personally, I got no problem with Gunna. Like Gunna, like I said, I just know like he ain't gonna be the same because of the streets. You know who his boss is.
Yeah, yeah he's done, bro. He's a rat.
Mm,
He's a cokehead.
mm,
He's a pothead. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done, bro. You seen the pictures of him when he was sitting in jail,
yeah.
bro? He had what? It's like, bro, bad, bro. You know he needed it. He had someone even
He
come to
said, you know,
jail.
he needed it.
He had someone go to jail and try to sneak in with like an 8 ball and all this other shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he even cared about being a rat.
He probably don't, yo. It's just like, yo, niggas still gonna bump, yo. That's why I can't wait. Like, niggas can't wait for Gunna next song, yo, cause niggas is still gonna bump that shit, yo.
Dang, bro. Like, I be wanting to bump these niggas too. Like 6ix9ine, I love 6ix9ine.
Real.
But it's like when I'm in traffic, niggas don't look at me like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
6ix9ine, that nigga, bro.
Bro, 6ix9ine, yo. You know, a lot of people do hate 6ix9ine shit, but his shit bump, and I like, you know, his Spanish shit, it's whatever, but his regular shit, that shit used to bump, yo.
So, yo, what's your thoughts on Batman and Kevo?
Batman Kevo as a whole, yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When he first came out, I thought he was a sucker. He's still, yo, to me, like, is he still a sucker to me? Nah. Okay. My thing about Batman Kevo is he's just a trick, yo. That's who I can. Nah. What can I say about this nigga, yo? He's just he's a tension whore. Okay, I got it. Tension whore. That's what he is. He's he seeks attention. He's not a bad guy. He doesn't really have an ego. But this nigga, like, I feel like he seeks attention. That's why he does the whole body thing. Like, the thing is, I didn't even listen to his music like that, so I can't really judge his music. I just judge off of the interviews I see, and just when we bring him up.
I'm in the black culture.
You said in the black culture? Yeah, I guess so. Like, I just know, like, just interview shit about him. I don't really know much about him. And that he was supposedly snitching, and then they found the paperwork, and he wasn't a snitch. And that, like, he um, this nigga named 16 Shots fucked his bitch. It's just, like, gossip shit I know about him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know no real shit about him other than, like, when you told me about he's a motivational speaker or something like that, and that I don't know. I don't really hear that much positive from him.
The only reason I think we need Batman Kevin because he's helping the kids learn something different, whether it's scamming or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
He causing no harm.
You said he's causing more harm?
No, he's not.
Uh.
But I can't name one bad thing about him. But the thing with 16 Shotums, the reason why I feel like he was mad at him for fucking his baby mother, because I think personally outside the internet he knew him, and we don't know him.
Yeah. That's fact. I get what you're saying.
It's a little different when a nigga you don't know fucking your baby mother than a nigga that you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's factual. That's why when we was having that talk before, it's just like, yo, like, I get, like, if a nigga bring around their piece, it's just like, yo, like, that's just, like, it's so much people in the world, why talk to your man's piece? Like, I just don't, I never got that, yo. And not even your man's, it's just like, if I knew, like, let's just say we was back in the hood, and it's just like, somebody that we acquainted to, I know, like, yo, that's my girl, he introduced me as everybody, his girl, it's just like, alright, cool. That's one person I just never would get to know like that. That's just me. You know, everybody has entitled to how they feel. That's just me. It's just like I'll just never get to know that person like that because then that person is like that person gonna have dirt. You know how females is. They be talking shit about them. Like nothing ever good come out of talking to somebody's ex, or to somebody's piece. Never, in my opinion.
So, what you? I spoke about this to some girl I met on Tinder, bro. And I told her that I'm not a fan of female friends.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, because they all end up trying to smash at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, that's crazy because, 38-year-old, she was like, yo, that's what all my male friends try to do to me. And I said, yeah, I know niggas. And that's the reason why, me personally, I don't vouch for female friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, in our friendship with like, I guess I'm taking it personally. I guess for our friendship with your girl is that I knew her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got to know her through you. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If somebody be like, yo, this is my girl. Like, if you introduce, even if it's like, let's just say you are single, and then you just be like, yo, this is my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't introduce it as your girlfriend. You said, this is my friend. If I'm single, it's just like, all right, that y'all clearly have some type of relationship. So, why should I butt in? Because if I'm alone with that that girl could just be like, yeah, I don't like what you know what I'm saying? Like it's like dirt, or you know what I'm saying? It's just like even like if you was like, yo, this is my homeboy, and then I don't hang with your homie without you, and your homie just start talking shit about you. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's all weird and shit. Like, bro, like why you talking shit? It's just I don't know. I'm just not a social. I'm learning. You know, I'm getting older. The social thing is I'm looking at it different now as I get older.
It's very different. But we know with social media,
Right. I ain't playing I don't play no games with nobody, especially like what we went through. But even prior to like what me and you like, when I used to just hang with a group of dudes, like dude bring a shorty around, bring their friend around, like yo, I'm not talking to that girl. Be like, what's wrong with your friend? Why ain't like I'm not talking because I know how y'all bitches be, yo. Y'all break up a whole friendship. Y'all break up a whole clique of niggas. Uh,
Yeah, that's what they do for real, for real.
yeah, yo, it's funny, yo, cause like the girl I was telling you about the other day, Jaguar, like
Yeah,
yeah, like she like. Do you remember a dude named Nature Boy? You never heard of a dude named Nature Boy?
besides Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you said the same thing. Yeah, so that's funny, but it's just like one of them black power niggas, one of them niggas that be eating trees and shit, eating licking tree barks and shit, like one of them niggas and shit.
Yeah,
And he and like them niggas like you like if you had a drawing, yo, them the niggas you gotta watch out for, cause them the niggas that they be like, yo, I love you, Black Queen. I love like you the mother of this universe. To make try to make your female seem
yeah,
mad special. And knowing that nigga just want to crack your jaw and slide it in your jaw, shit. It be them niggas and them, huh?
that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I always tell her too, like, if a nigga come around and start talking that black power shit, I'm walking away because I don't want to have to slap this nigga. I don't want to have the nigga seem like, you know what I'm saying, no extra shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know how niggas be, yo. Shit, I know how niggas be.
hey bro, like where I'm at right now, bro, like like as a whole as people, bro,
Yeah,
when it comes to this rap and everything as a whole,
yeah,
I'm in like annoying and repetitive, bro, because we could go on any YouTube page, we could hear shit that make men feel better or women feel better.
yeah.
We have no real foundation. Like I don't see like white guys or white girls posting videos about what I'm saying. I don't see them posting videos how we post about
Each
the way
other.
black men should be or black women should be.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we kind of lost it as a culture, bro.
yeah.
We allowed it.
Yo, that's a fact. I was just listening to some dude earlier who was saying, because it's just like, yo, we don't, I hate to bring up the God thing, but we just don't have no history. So it's just like, we be just creating shit out of the thin air. And then, like, if a nigga sound good, he just going to turn himself into a messiah or some type of Jesus figure.
Yeah.
And that's always what happened. That's why it's just like, because people used to say that too, like, yo, you like the Malcolm X, and you smart as hell. I'm like, yo, do not follow my lead, yo. I will lead you. Like, I can advise niggas, but I hate when people try to follow me, yo. Like, it's just certain things that I just hate, because I just know, like, I'm not, like, trying to be sacrificed or nothing, because, like, niggas, you know, every leader was sacrificed, yo. Most leaders, even down to Julius Caesar, a white dude.
See, I'm just tired of like I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm kind of tired of the podcast, the Fresh and Fits,
Yeah,
because it's even though Fresh and Fit is lit,
yeah,
there's 100 other more podcasters doing that.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like we're just bullying each other.
That's fact. That's a fact, yo. That's literally what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way one man should live, the way one man live, it's up to the other man to decide if he want to live like that too.
Yeah.
You can't opinionate the way a man should be based off what you think. So you actually, I mean, that's why people grow up, like, girls grow up with fathers or whatever the case is, so they can see examples. But there's a million examples, so that means it's a million opinions.
Yeah.
And we keep living off, 1980, 1980.
Yo,
How long are we going to do that?
mm, yeah, yeah, that kind of. So yeah, yeah. That's why I feel like shit should be created. I know now I'm sounding like a contradiction. Shit should be created, but I just look at it as like when you have like at least a foundation. Yeah, that's the word. If you have a foundation it'd be easier. Like black people, we don't have a foundation no more, and like you saying, going back to that past shit, it don't work no more. It don't work, but it's just like we just need a foundation that we can stick to, or like something. Right.
Nigga, we got 42 dollars. Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's our require.
Yo, but you know, like I could put it in this. I could put it in this way. Like it's not a solution, but like I just look at it just like I feel like when stuff is in chaotic or when shit is going crazy and everybody for self, at least black people, we be respecting each other when we all for self. When we be playing all that buddy buddy, oh we are the world shit, that's when we get fucked over and we be like burying ourselves in a deeper hole. I'm gonna use an example like the Trump thing when people was like, yo, you gonna vote for Trump or Hillary Clinton and shit like that. Yeah, they're two of the lesser evils, but I'm like, yo, Trump is literally telling niggas to their face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least I can't get mad at the nigga if he's telling me to my face. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody like we don't want like nobody like you said like you don't want to date a girl that's like a nigga like you, but at least she's telling you shit to your face and like if y'all both stand on it, it's whatever. That's why I feel like female kind of got it twisted because like niggas, like you said, like niggas don't want a girl that's a nigga, but we want a girl that at least has an opinion. Like they be falling in two different things. Like one minute they the toughest nigga in the world. Let's go. Let's segue over to Blueface, y'all, and Krayshawn, y'all. Tell, huh?
Blueface, I feel like he's just as dumb, but he knows how to make himself look good for it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
Krishan don't care if he crash out.
Yo, she don't, yo. Yo, this is how I look at it. Like, just finish my little segue. I feel like Krayshawn, because on some real I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about Blueface and Krayshawn, yo. I like them too. I like overall. No, I'm not gonna say. I feel like they're not bad people. That's what I'm gonna say. I feel like
Yeah,
they're not bad people. I feel like they really do love each other.
yeah,
I just feel like they toxic as hell. I just feel like they just like they got toxic ways. Like cause I'll use Chris Shawn as an example. Like she literally we could tell she got touched, molested, beat something happened to that girl for her. There's no way this bitch is 1 minute she's she's like trying to take care of you, and then the next minute she's trying to beat you up and talking about yo I could get any nigga I want and shit like that, or like you know how she be talking. And then Blueface like because even with me and her, Kizzy talking about like Blueface, we don't know what the nigga he might be slapping her up when the cameras is off, or just like doing wild shit when the cameras on, so we can't really take up for him. But that nigga is kind of like a robot, yo. Like he's I feel like they're both they're bad for each other, but like they showing, I feel like they're showing the world something that niggas ain't seen before, yo.
I think he's definitely on something. I'm gonna start with
Definitely.
they're definitely on something.
Mm,
And Krishan just gotta grow up a little bit.
yeah. Do you think do you like them together?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. It's weird. I just feel like they need to read the fuck lax. They just need to relax or something. Like,
they be doing too much.
yeah. I be thinking
That's
they
why
do
you
it for the cameras.
no, I think that's actually how they living, bro. Like they probably wake up, smoke, fuck, and what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro, we was talking about them the other day. We was like, yo, they look dirt. Like they, yo, like pause. Like now I'm about to go on this nigga blue. This nigga face is like a crunch berry. This nigga don't wash his face, bro, yo.
That shit, they don't look smooth at all.
Bro, we think like I'm gonna say I think them they dirty as hell, yo. Like
I
you
think
said,
they
like
on.
they just wake up, smoke, drink, fuck, probably like don't bathe
I
in
think
like.
they on the white girl, yeah.
You said what?
I think they on the white girl.
Oh, they definitely on that, yo.
Cause like every time, every scene, she be like, oh, it's always take a shot, take a shot, take a shot.
Yeah.
Not cause of that, but like games, bro. Like,
Mm.
he gotta go to Vegas for what?
Mm.
For what? He ain't got no show.
That nigga ain't drop music and how. That's why she snapped on bruh. She was like.
Cause he's surviving off OnlyFans, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But once that bag get low, that's when Wack is like, yo, what are you doing?
Yo, that's what we was saying. Like, I like this is all jokes though. Like, if I'm telling you, if this nigga, if this bitch is a dub, he gonna get rid of him, yo. He's
Wack?
losing. Yeah, Wack is losing money because he got this diaper thing though.
Yeah.
But like Blueface, like this nigga, he's losing Wack money, yo. Especially how he's in the tabloids, because just like we saying, like everybody in the world is saying the same thing we saying. Like, yo, they look like they really love each other, but that shit not healthy. Like, y'all fucking up the algorithm of the world. Like, people look up to shit like that. That shit just ain't right. Some shit just shouldn't be seen on TV.
Yeah.
Cause like the whole thing is, if that was a male, like this nigga would have been locked up for DV. You feel me? Like this bitch is trying to vacuum glass out the motherfucking the back of his head. Like that shit crazy. Like you vacuuming the glass out of a female head, that's not happening, yo. Like you on some real drug, niggas might just beat you up just for the fuck of it, like knock you out just because you hit a bitch like that, like how he.
I think he just lost, yeah.
Oh, he definitely lost. He definitely lost. It's just like I ain't gonna lie, I'm shallow, but like when I be watching that shit, like you know how you be like, yo, that shit made me mad, yo. Like watching that shit really be making me mad because I'm like, yo, that nigga really just be chill though. Like she just was like, I'm not no fucking hater. I know she been like something happened to her, yo.
Because even at her age,
Mm.
that's not right.
You said what?
Even at her age, bro, that's not normal to act out like that.
Bro, like even when she's on the baddies and shit, like the last baddies and shit, like the fucking lady that ran the fuck, you know how they got like a moderator to make sure they could get through shit. Krayshawn would not let the fucking lady talk, bro. Like she was like, like being mad, like childish as hell. You feel what I mean? High school, you know my words. She was mad high school, so it's just like somebody like that, yo. If Blueface can't even control her, Wack can't control her. Like her bro, like her boy Blueface beating up her parents and shit. Like there's clearly something wrong with her, yo.
She fought her parents too. Them niggas
Bro, she fought everybody. That's why Blueface brother was about to put him, bro.
the chick, I mean, Blueface told his mom, like, yo, you're not my type of lady.
Yeah. Damn, did you see the episode, yo?
Yeah, I seen it. He was like, you're not my type of lady. I'm like, what? I'm a cracker.
Yo, I was saying the same thing to her. I was like, yo, she's a very pretty woman, but she looked dangerous, bro. Like a lady like that, she's some type of church lady.
Yeah.
That's bad news, yo.
She like baby boy. And she know too many niggas.
Yeah, thank you. She
You know what I'm
lying.
saying? But I still fly through that.
Yeah, she extortionist though.
Yeah, she was like, give me your money. Or what?
Yeah, she definitely extortionist. That's why I feel like Blueface feel like he extorting everybody. I'm like Blueface, y'all. You're getting extorted because you're like nobody's looking at that shit like it's cool, yo. Like everybody's looking at like males, like even like the only niggas that's looking at that shit like cute is niggas that get beat the fuck up by females, yo. That's the only thing, like, cause even females that watch it probably looking at it like, yo, unless bitches like beating their nigga up like that, I guess. I don't know, yo.
I can't be into that. Me personally.
Yeah.
Like, once you hit out,
Yeah.
that's just me. Other niggas is different.
That's factual.
Like, when it comes to Blueface and Krishan, yo, I think they're a good fit, but they gotta clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, they definitely gotta clean that shit up, cause I feel like They about to go on Doctor. They about to go on the Doctor show. So we about to find out what's really about. We about to find out what's really up, man. We about to see how stupid these niggas really is, yo. Cause this doctor, he the real deal, Holyfield.
So wrap up the conversation, what you think 2023 gonna bring?
2023. All right, yo.
Yeah.
2023 is going to be the fall of the middle class.
Mm,
And the reason why I said 2023 is going to be the fall of the middle class is because this is literally the first year, because we didn't do COVID, no mask, no nothing like through this winter. So this is like the first summer, the first like year where we just didn't have no COVID protocols, no like niggas business should start like everything should start flourishing this year. Like we about to see real. That's why I like how you started off where you was like, which nigga is dying this year? It's just like I gotta kind of see how the atmosphere is.
yeah.
I gotta see how the atmosphere is because like niggas is gonna be dying though. Don't get it twisted. Niggas is gonna be dying, but I just feel like it's not gonna be who we think it is. Like you saying, like big name people. Like it's gonna be middle. It's gonna be people fighting for the. Like it's gonna be. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's gonna be regular niggas like us, yo. Like trying to figure out, are we gonna be like broke hobos on the street, or are we gonna be getting to the bag and like, or are we gonna be like glorified robots working like But the middle class is not gonna have a say so in society no more. Maybe not this year. Maybe next year. Cause when is the president election? This year? It's this year, right? Yep.
Yeah. At the end of it.
Yeah, November. So yeah. That's just my take on it. Like it's going to be. I know that was kind of harsh. It's going to be something to deal with middle class. It's going to be a shift in energy.
It's the year for all the people that's been struggling.
Yeah.
They actually gonna get their gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yo, basically, like niggas that been like people that have been started a business in QWERTY. Everybody that started shit like niggas need jobs. Like if it like shit happening out here. Like
I just feel like this is the time for the niggas that haven't been on
mm,
to be on. I just feel like
yo,
I want money.
that's a good way to put it. Yo. I feel like it's about to be mad new shit, like mad new people, mad new artists.
I hope so.
It got to, yo.
So let me ask you a question for a nigga like me.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been getting lonely.
Okay.
I've been getting bored, but I'm on the time where it's like I can get to know a girl, but it's like I'm not where I want to be at. It's only because I could talk to a girl, but it's like only because out of loneliness.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like I don't even know how to play the game anymore to get some ass. You feel me?
Yeah. I can answer that question.
No, go ahead.
I feel like you know the game, you're just not willing to spend the money because that goes into what I said about they getting rid of the middle class because right now we're considered the middle class. So if you get a low down bitch, dirty bitch like that, means she ain't gonna want no money, but she gonna be like she's gonna be wild. You know what I'm saying for the streets. If you get like a upclass girl, you can not saying she wouldn't be for the streets, but what gets her the ticket. It's either gonna be money, or it's gonna be love, or it's gonna be a child. It's something gonna like keep her at bay. So like you saying, like basically the question you saying is just like a guy like you, like you're out the game. How can you get it? I feel like you could get it. You just gotta want to play the game. Literally, you gotta want to play a game. Because the thing is, like, you could talk to anybody. Like, you could talk to anybody. But then you gonna feel yourself like, damn, this bitch is, she for the street, she did, she that, she did, she did, and then the girl that you want, you gonna be like, damn, I know what she want, but damn, she gonna want me to be have a job. She gonna want me to be a gentleman. She gonna want me to be.
It's still like work.
That's why it can't be work for you, cause you know it's not work to get the easy sloppy bitch in the street. I don't want to
Yeah.
the jelly. That's what I'll name it. I'll say the jelly.
Mhm.
It's easy to get
Yeah,
the.
I'm
It's
kind
easy,
of dumb.
huh?
I don't want to keep like keep it about like I don't want to keep fucking different girls and shit. I'm kind of like past that, bro. I kind of
Yeah.
just want to like lock in.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you know, out here, bro, is different, bro.
Yeah. Can I say something? I feel like most like men. You know how men when they had that barbershop talk, they be like, "Yo, I need this. I need multiple like." Real nigga, a real busy nigga, or a nigga that is chill, he not gonna want more than one. He gonna want chill with that one. You feel me? Like niggas just be
Yeah.
capping. Niggas be capping for they nigga. Like yeah, I got this bitch. I got this. Like the only time niggas be capping for the only time niggas be have multiple partners is when they got it when they had to gloat to their mans. If you ain't got no mans to
Yeah.
gloat to, you gonna be chilling. Cause most niggas, you know how niggas is in the barbershop. It's just like yo, that girl look good. Like, yeah, I got that. Or this, that. Or some nigga that just like you said, like you ain't trying to have multiple partners. Chill. Once you get that one partner, you just gonna want to chill with her. You ain't gonna want to be in the barbershop. The niggas like, yeah, I did this with my girl. Yeah, I eat her like this. I fucked her like this. Cause that's your girl. Like you don't want to be telling niggas what you be doing with your girl. Unless you want niggas to slide in on your girl, I guess.
Yeah. So where you think I should take the first steps at if you had to take a guess to get to
My
know people?
my first thing is to really build a character.
Without you.
Yeah, build a character, and cause most people take character as like, oh, some fake shit. I mean, like the character that you're going to be to that person, to your, you know what I'm saying? The character, like it builds character. Cause if you come to like a female, I'm just saying in general. If you come to a female in general, to a female, she gonna look at you as a lame nigga if you ain't got no character. So, might as well build the character. I know it sounds cartoonish, but like, it's, hey,
I'll keep telling him. You were Kizzy?
she in the other room.
Oh, that was an answer to the same question.
Yeah, nah,
Uh,
yeah. I
so,
stream. Usually when I stream Dolo.
no, I feel you. Nigga, I'm drunk as hell right now.
Oh, word. Oh, so we can do
Yeah,
this with drunk, cause we was on for. Let me check. Probably like an hour. Change.
yeah, like an hour and change. Yeah, I've been drinking, smoking, and, you know, fucking with the Jeezy and them niggas.
Man. Oh, what's up
That's
about this? I'm about to
that's
say.
the time
You smoke in your house?
hell no.
No.
I wish.
Just open the window and smoke outside the window.
I ain't even gonna try to risk it.
They say y'all don't smoke in there.
Yeah.
Word. Paul, do you work tomorrow too?
I work Monday through Friday.
So this is my regular though. I'll be.
Yeah, it's all good though. Cause you know, as soon as I be up and shit.
Word.
But you know, man, like, I'm at this point in my life, bro, where it's like, I don't even know to, like, keep it a buck with bitches, bro. It's just like, I really don't even want to fuck with them right now. I'm just focused on this paper.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, even though money is good, but, you know, it's always better when you got somebody with you.
Yeah, or just like we were saying, like you can build up. Like I hate to just call it a build a bitch, but it's just like or build build a person up. Like well, you just got the first like I'm not saying stupid, like, cause But like somebody that don't know, like, cause you were saying earlier, like people out here, you know how people is out here, so you could literally just build with some girl out here and just teach her up north shit, just like she could just teach you down south stuff. It's just like I just feel like when you building with somebody, you don't need no third party people. Like you know, like how you just saying like, what's my advice or what's Kizzy's advice? It's just like when you build with the person, it's like it's between y'all two. It's like whatever rules y'all make in your relationship is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we make our rules up as we go, and it just works.
You know, times are just different, bro. Dealing with, you know, my situation, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I just came from over there, bro. I'm like, damn, you know, shit
mm,
is a sad story.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm trying to get that shit out of my head. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I am over time, like, yeah, you know, like a part of me, low key, bro. Like, I be wanting to go to the strip club to get away from shit, bro.
So, this is another suggestion. You know, it's just a suggestion. If you was to go to a strip club, maybe you could just talk to one stripper. You don't have to talk to 20 different strippers. Just keep talking to the same one. She obviously at first she's gonna look at it as like, oh, this is my client. He comes in every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and he gonna at least give me $20 for 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how them bitches be thinking too. Like they be like, yo, like if they work every Friday or every Monday, like yeah, they got 10 niggas coming in, but maybe you could just take all her time on that Monday. Like let's just say you go to a strip club on a Monday and shit like that, and you know this girl named Destiny is there, like from 10 to 11 when you from what time is it now 1 o'clock, so from like 1 to 2 you and you know it's dead, you and Destiny could just be sitting in there giggling talking and everything, and then like if you
Yeah.
and then you don't even got a slot on her that night, you could just be like I'll see you next Monday. You just like I'll see you next Monday same time, we could talk about this, and then like over time you can get her number because now y'all close and stuff like that, and then maybe she'll let you crack one time, and then you know what I'm saying, like, and then if she trusts you, she going to start telling you about her life and stuff like that, and you,
Building relationships.
huh?
Building relationships.
Yeah, yeah, because the thing is that the strippers is people too.
Yeah.
Like before my relationship, I was cool with mad strippers because it's just like I used to work in a club with me, so I just sit there and talk to them, and it's just like I ain't even, you know, not to say they was discussing anything, but I already know like they got mad people coming in talking to them, so it's just like at least I got my 30 minutes of my hour with you, and like and then after that I ain't gotta entertain you no more. Some other nigga coming to entertain you.
Yeah.
That's how I always looked at it. So it's just like it never bothered me. It just bothered me when they hitting you up and they want you to pick them up, and you know you like, bitch, that's gonna cost you.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock when they get off of work type
Yeah,
shit.
but like the situation you're in, not to just put it out there, like long as she ain't got no back door, you could just pick her up at 3 o'clock and she could stay with you, and then when y'all wake up, you go to work and she can go to hell about her business.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sketchy about everything, bro.
Shit. Yeah, like I said, I don't. I'm the older I get, the more as a loner I get, because it's just not that I don't trust people, but people gonna be people. You know what I'm saying? Like you know me
Yeah.
like the back of your hand, so you already know like what I'm about. But it's just like how we had to spend years building this up, you just gotta do that with a female. But it's just like you obviously you try to do that with a female, but she didn't have the patience. Not saying a stripper has patience, but a stripper does have patience. You ain't gotta marry the bitch. You could just have fun with her and just build a friendship with her. It's just when that bitch call you at night, like, yeah, this nigga robbed me, but like, that's not my problem. Like,
Let me see what shit is up, man. I'm about to go slide on some shit. Yeah, I'm on that time, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying, you feel me? I'm trying to see some shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one thing the tough love I gotta tell you, it's gonna take time. That shit not gonna just
Yeah,
happen.
like,
Cause most niggas like how you explain it, it's like you let's just say I'll just do that scenario again. You go to the strip club, you hang with the bitch, like you might just hit me the next day like, yo, I might crash out for this bitch right here. And like that was her job, just to make you feel good at that one moment.
yeah, the only thing they got is pure gold, and that shit is like, uh,
Mm-hmm.
no. I'm back outside, bro. Shout out, shout out you and Shorty. New Year's is OD funny, bro.
Yeah, man, that's yeah. Hey, I
That
like
shit.
when I have no control. I'm just like the guy just bringing because it's just like nobody I couldn't do nothing about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not the driver. I don't control the funds. I don't control nothing right now. I just gotta live vicariously through everybody else.
Yeah, I was about to pack me up. The second she was like, oh, this music is trash. Alright, bet. Feel me, I
Mm,
was gonna pack her up, but I was just on some like, I don't care what happened tonight, nigga.
mm,
What type of time I was on.
you know, that's what I try not. I guess what how should I say this? Uh, I guess interfere with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cause that shit'll get me in trouble.
Shit, she just had to try.
Yeah.
She's like, nah. I'm I'm gonna end the Discord.
Uh.
Yeah, with you, tomorrow or some shit.
Alright. Hit me if anything.
Um,
Easy.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want. You can't find really anything to do with, oh, there's women who are saying it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Now we're hearing bodyguards say some girls thought they didn't expect. Oh, yeah. Okay, Insider, since the Insider said two women say they aren't victims, they're wrongly known by the police. Okay. Andrew Tate's bodyguard called the young and stupid. We'll read that too. And something called Billy's Eye, Andrew Tate's no role model. Daily Mail says head of security says the ex-kid boxer only asked him to remove them. Now, we'll see. Then there was something else. Now they're saying what's going on with the yo, Vice is on some shit. Now they're about to see if this is like some cult. Andrew Tate, alright, what's going on, blah blah, he's arrested. Why is this a problem? He broke up a lot.
sponsored by Raycon, my go-to pair of earbuds for the past 3 years now. With 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life, Raycon earbuds are extremely reliable and convenient. They're super comfortable, with optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, making them the perfect choice for long commutes or lazy weekends on the sofa. For more physically demanding activities, you don't need to worry about them falling out. Raycon earbuds stay in place, no matter what. What makes them so indispensable for me, though, is that they come jam-packed with features. With Raycon earbuds, you can seamlessly switch between 3 customizable sound profiles. Pure sound, which I use whenever I'm losing myself in spooky podcasts. Balance sound, for warmth and depth, whenever I'm vibing to some jongle train. And bass sound, which really brings my old-school hip-hop playlist to life. With the press of a button, you can alternate between noise isolation and awareness mode. The former for when you want to block out the world, and the latter for when you want to hear what's going on around you. Right now, you can help support the channel, while also getting a huge discount on Raycon products. Click the link in my description box, or go to buyraycon.com/masquerade, and you'll get a massive 15% off your Raycon purchase. Actress Ada Constance Kent was born in England around the year of 1880 and spent most of her working life in and around the theatres of London's West End. She made a brief transition to motion with uncredited roles in Princess O'Hara and Tomorrow's Children. But, unfortunately for Ada, her career accomplishments aren't the reason that she's still remembered today. After failing to score any leading roles, Ada announced that she was retiring from acting and promptly moved to the small village of Fingeringhove, Essex. No sniggering. Ada was a reclusive soul who never socialized with the other locals and who was rarely seen around the village. Her elusive nature and past fame made her all the more mysterious to the other villagers, who often gossiped about the wealthy actress turned hermit who lived amongst them. But their interest in Ada only truly peaked when she suddenly and inexplicably disappeared from the face of the earth. In 1939, a tradesman knocked on Ada's front door, but she didn't answer. A gardener named Reuben G. Winkle claimed to have spotted her bedroom light on the previous night, so initially, nobody was too concerned. The eccentric woman had a habit of wandering off for long periods of time. But 3 months later, when a friend came to visit Ada at her cottage and found that it was still empty, she was officially declared a missing person. 2 local constables visited the cottage to investigate the matter. Curiously, they found that the front door had been left unlocked. A dinner tray with a fully prepared meal sat on the kitchen table. An open copy of Romeo and Juliet was resting on an armchair, and Ada's coat was still hanging on the rack. Wherever she had gone, she had left in a hurry. Otherwise, everything else was as it should have been. There were no signs of foul play, and nothing to suggest that Ada hadn't left of her own free will. 3 years passed without anyone seeing or hearing from Ada. One of her concerned friends, a man named George Whitney, travelled to her cottage in hopes of finding some trace of the missing spinster. George thoroughly searched each of the cottage's rooms, but found no useful clues that would indicate what happened to his wayward friend. All was quiet for 9 long years, until, finally, Ada's bank manager noticed something unusual. Since she was considered missing and not dead, Ada's accounts had remained open, though for almost a decade, not a single transaction had taken place. Then, suddenly, in September 1948, someone had made several large deposits into her account. The bank manager quickly contacted the local police, and for a brief period, the investigation into Ada's disappearance was reopened. On a hunch, detectives decided to once again. But unlike before, the house wasn't empty. Sitting in a wooden chair in one of the cottage's front rooms was a fully dressed skeleton, and lying next to it, an empty bottle, simply labelled poison. Naturally, the discovery horrified local law enforcement, who had already conducted several fruitless searches of the cottage. Coroners from Scotland Yard conducted a thorough examination of the remains, and in a bizarre twist, they noted that the skeleton was larger than one, befitting Ada's small stature, and more closely resembled a male's brain. As such, they couldn't conclusively state whether it belonged to Ada or not. Small tufts of hairs that attached to the skull matched with hairs found on a brush in the bedroom, prompting a coroner's jury to conclude that the bones were Ada's, though many people aren't so sure. A number of independent homicide investigators have since come forward with the same horrifying theory, that the skeleton wasn't Ada. If true, that raises a huge number of other questions. Most obviously, had a homeless person snuck into Ada's abandoned cottage for the night and ended there? If it was a male, why were they wearing women's clothing? Did somebody in the nearby they needed to dispose of and thought they could pass it off as Ada? Did a sinister individual want to exhibit their handiwork? All investigators knew was that there hadn't been a skeleton in the cottage during their past searches, and now there was. Frustratingly, a cause of death couldn't be determined. While the bottle clearly suggested that the victim had been poisoned, there was no way of proving it by skeletal analysis alone, nor were experts able to determine if the person had perished inside the cottage or elsewhere. After yet another round of police questioning, a villager claimed to have spotted Ada during her final days, and said that when Ada had entered the Whalebone pub on the 6th of March, just a couple of weeks before she vanished, she had looked extremely poorly. Reportedly, she was very pale and was almost continuously coughing during a brief exchange with the owner. This has led some to suggest that Ada was very ill. They theorize that she had simply taken a long trip away from the village, returned at some point thereafter, and passed away of natural causes inside her cottage. Yet there are others who suggest that her symptoms and the bottle were evidence of murder by poison. As it stands, this case remains shrouded in mystery, and given how old it is, that's not likely to change. Honestly, there's very little information about this case online, and of the reports that do exist, many seem to conflict with one another. As such, we can't say for certain what exactly happened to Ada, whether she upped and left to spend her final years elsewhere, or whether she was butchered, whether the remains were hers or not. We also can't say who paid the money into her account 9 years after she vanished, or why. All we can say with certainty is that Ada's end was even more dramatic than her career. A body appearing out of thin air, a bottle labelled poison, mysterious bank deposits appearing as if meant to reignite the case. It all seems so fittingly theatrical. Those involved in this next mystery haven't officially been named by the authorities yet, so to avoid nausea, I'll instead be using pseudonyms. On the evening of June, a man in the northern French region of Eure, named Luc, telephoned his former partner. A horrifying story. The 46-year-old carpenter sounded drunk as he explained how he had gotten into a traffic accident, one in which he had slammed his car. Marie was of course troubled to hear that, and asked if everything was all right. Luke babbled on about how he had reported the incident to the cops, and how it had been the bike. He insisted that the cyclist was in good health, but the damage to the windscreen of his Audi suggested otherwise. A friend of Marie's must have suspected that something was up, since he drove past Luke's home that very same evening, and stopped to take photographs of his car. There was a large, circular impact dent on the windscreen, which had a, quote, red mark in the center. After being forwarded the photos, Marie contacted the local police. Contrary to her ex-husband's claims, no such accident report had been filed. Furious about the deception, Marie attempted to contact Luke by telephone, and after 3 days of radio silence, she drove over to his home to demand answers. When she arrived on the morning of March 12th, Marie spotted Luke's Audi, along with the damage it sustained in the collision, but she also noticed traces of what appeared to be blood on the right side of the vehicle. After knocking on the front door of his home for a sustained period, she concluded that no one was home. 24 hours later, Luke called her up, and it was during this call that he made a stunning confession. He admitted that he may have downplayed what actually happened after the crash on March 9th. The truth was that he had struck a cyclist at high speed whilst under the influence of alcohol, and said that her wounds had actually been fatal. Then, instead of calling the police, he put the bike and her body in the trunk of his car and went looking for a shovel with which to dig her grave. After a brief trip back home, Luke then drove to a secluded area, dug a deep pit, and prepared to drag the cyclist to her final resting place. Yet, upon opening up the trunk, he discovered that the woman was still alive and was weakly begging for help. In a decision so callous that it defies comprehension, Luke didn't help her, but instead bludgeoned her to death with the shovel. To him, slaying her was preferable to facing the consequences of a DUI. The man wept down the line and begged his ex-wife not to reveal his dark secret. Overcome with the burden of a guilty conscience, Marie went to her local police station 2 months later and accused her ex-partner of murder, telling them everything that he had confessed to her. Into the cyclist's disappearance, but no corresponding missing persons report had been filed, so it was impossible to know who exactly had been killed. However, police did manage to talk to the former girlfriend of the accused, who claimed that she had spoken with him around the time of the alleged murder. The girl claimed Luke would called her and said that he wasn't well in the head. When she asked why, he seemed unwilling to talk about it, but eventually confessed to, quote, knocking down an old lady when at the wheel of his car and having killed her before burying her. Once the police were given the photographs of the damaged Audi, they knew that securing the vehicle would be the key to conviction. Yet, when dozens of police officers descended on Luke's property, his car was nowhere to be found. Unbelievably, Luke claimed that his car had been stolen the night before. The vehicle was later found abandoned and burned in a secluded, wooded area. Luke feigned ignorance, claiming that he wasn't responsible for destroying the vehicle. Yet the scorching of such a crucial piece of evidence was too suspicious for the French authorities to overlook, and even they took Luke in on suspicion of murder.
You're seeing a minute clinic provider whenever you need to. Or Minute Clinic. Healthier happens together.
On most vacations, you take a trip. But in Israel, you'll take a journey you'll never forget. Here you'll experience things so extraordinary, from the inspired to the inspiring, the humble to the truly humbling. Where people come to learn, laugh, connect, in a country with thousands of years of recommendations. What you see, touch, and feel
During his initial round of questioning, Luke claimed that he the cyclist, in hopes of it bringing him closer to his ex, Marie. He claimed of prank, and that he had damaged his own car before spreading chicken blood on it. Aviators showed him the photos of his damaged vehicle. After being confronted by those images, Luke admitted that he had hit a cyclist after all, but once again insisted that they had. Luke also admitted to setting fire to his own car, but after that, he stopped talking entirely. He never indicated where he may have hid. Luke has since been the subject to additional rounds of questioning and has even made an appearance in court. Yet, and until the cyclist's remains are uncovered, a conviction is highly unlikely. The authorities are convinced that Luke is guilty of taking a cyclist's life, and that they're only a hair's breadth away from putting him behind bars. And as it stands, time is ticking away. The investigation is unlikely to progress until a missing persons report can be linked to the case, as with no clue to the identity of the victim, punishing the killer is almost impossible. French police have since stated that they believe the victim may not have been reported missing and may have been living alone and isolated at the time of the incident. It's possible that in contrast to Luke's initial reports that she looked like a tramp, the victim was actually very wealthy. A person with 2 homes, say, wouldn't be noticed as a missing person in the same way someone with 1 home would be. But then again, such a person is much more likely to be reported missing in a timely manner. It's entirely possible that the driver killed a lonely and solitary old woman, someone with so few connections to the world around her. Boost. As a result of such a lifestyle, it stands to reason that her killer may never face justice. Until detectives find her remains, she's doomed to remain in a Schrödinger-like state. A victim who both does and doesn't exist. And until it's proven that she does, her killer will continue to walk free. Brandon Swanson was born on the 30th of January, 1989, and spent his formative years in the city of Marshall, Minnesota. Following his graduation from high school in 2007, Brandon enrolled at the Minnesota West Community and Technical College and studied wind turbines. He proved himself to be a dedicated student who wished only to contribute to a brighter, greener future. When the academic year ended on May 13, 2008, Brandon and his friends celebrated by attending 2 separate parties, both held in the college students' dormitories. Friends of Brandon's later said that he drank at both parties. Back home later that night, did so conservatively to ensure that he was under the legal limit. All accounts of clear and sober mind when he left. Shortly after his goodbyes, he got into the driver's side seat of his Chevrolet Lumina. He then began the 30-mile drive back to his hometown of Marshall. It was a simple, southeasterly drive, one that should have taken no longer than 30 to 40 minutes. But for some reason, Brandon was still on the road at around 1:45 a.m. It was at that time that his journey was brought to a screeching halt. Brandon telephoned his parents, Brian and Annette, and told them that he had crashed his car into a roadside ditch. A childhood injury had left him near blind in one eye, which affected both his night vision and depth perception. So, although alarming, the accident wasn't altogether surprising. Brandon was shaken, but assured both his parents that he was unharmed, and asked if they could drive out and give him a ride back home. Brian and Annette got into their pickup truck and drove along Highway 68 in the direction they believed their son was stranded. There was just one problem. Brandon didn't know exactly where he was, as he had almost certainly taken a wrong turn at some point in his journey. Given the layout of the area, he may well have been suffering from familiarity displacement and wound up somewhere. As such, his parents kept him on the phone, telling him to use his flashlight to signal past them. Find him. Brian and Annette continued along Highway 68. In half an hour, they failed to spot any flashlights at the roadside. Brandon's father realized that his son must not be on Highway 68 after all, and so asked him if he could spot the lights of any towns around him. When Brandon replied that he could, his father suspected that the lights were coming from the small town of Lind, roughly 7 miles southwest of Marshall. Brian told his son to walk towards that town so that they could meet somewhere they were both familiar with, the parking lot of a popular bar and grill. Brandon stayed on the line as he cut through some fields. He and for exactly 47 minutes by that point, and it seemed just a matter of time before they were reunited. Yet, just after 2:30 a.m., Annette and Brian heard something on the other end. in their minds for the rest of their lives. Without warning, Brandon suddenly screamed, "Oh, shit!" as if taken by surprise. His father called out his name into the phone, but there was no response. Thinking that they had lost connection, Brian hung up and tried calling Brandon back. Brian began ceaselessly calling his son's phone, but the longer Brandon failed to answer, the more it became obvious that something was wrong.
Cybersecurity is in such high demand, I knew that getting a degree in it would provide me a lot better opportunity.
Pursue a future in cybersecurity at ECPI University.
I didn't want to spend 4 years earning my degree. 2.5 years at ECPI University was perfect for me.
Go beyond the classroom.
Being able to touch what I'm working on, being able to see it go into play in real time is really beneficial.
Cybersecurity at ECPI University. Get started today at ecpi.edu.
Unable to find any trace of their son along the roadside, Brandon's parents reported him missing as soon as they were able to. But to their frustration, local law enforcement seemed completely disinterested. One officer told them that it was, quote, hardly unusual for young men that age to stay out all night after the last day of college, while another seemed to imply that the Swansons were being controlling. Brian later said that that same officer had told them that and refused to investigate until there had been no contact for 24 hours. Brandon's parents were forced to take their case to Lynn's chief of police, and after an impassioned plea, a search party was finally formed. A few hours later, police officers located Brandon's abandoned Chevy. It was lying in a ditch, just as he had described, and although there were no signs of foul play, there were also no signs of Brandon anywhere. When his cell phone was traced to nearby Yellow Medicine County, multiple search teams used bloodhounds and helicopters to scour the area. Later that day, one of the dogs picked up a scent. Search and rescue personnel followed the dog along a 3-mile trail which snipped through nearby fields in the direction of an abandoned farm. From that farm, the tracker dog followed Brandon's trail to the Yellow Medicine River, where the scent abruptly disappeared. When Brandon's father confirmed that his son had heard running water as he had walked, detectives began to suspect that he may have fallen into the river and drowned. Specially trained divers combed through the river, but no trace of Brandon was discovered. Sadly, less than 1 week after Brandon went missing, local law enforcement were forced to scale back their search for him. Given how long he had been gone, it stood to reason that there was only a slim chance he was still alive. Some weren't so cynical. Brandon's parents, along with almost every home in his neighborhood, kept their porch lights on as a symbol of their hope that Brandon would eventually return. Sheriff Bezecki also held out hope and continued to walk the 2-mile search area along the Yellow Medicine River on a daily basis for the next month. 2008, the sheriff had organized a large cross-county task force to search the freshly hot Highway 68. One of the major impediments to the original search had been the ocean. During the search area, some of which dwarfed even the tallest members of the search crew. With such a huge obstacle now gone, Sheriff Bezecki knew there was no better time to continue the search. Almost immediately, cadaver dogs began to pick up on the scent of human remains in a previously unsearched area. Again, no physical evidence was found. And an area with farming equipment, leading some to theorize that Brandon may have been pulverized by a harvester. By the spring of 2011, more than 122 square miles had been searched. But despite such a mammoth effort, not a single usable lead was recovered. It was like Brandon had simply dropped off the face of the earth. No trace of the young man could be found anywhere. As far as tangible theories are concerned, there's very little evidence to suggest that Brandon drowned that night. He was only within earshot of the Yellow Medicine River. Fall in, and when the tracker dog did follow Brandon's scent trail to the water, it continued to the other side and down a gravel road. His father, Brian, also insisted that his son were intoxicated during their phone conversation. There's little evidence that Brandon ran away from home either. He and his parents had a close and loving relationship, enough so that his first thought was to call them when he got in trouble. Even if he had run away, surely there would have been sightings of him in the area during the days that followed. The one possibility that can't be ruled out is foul play. That's the explanation that Sheriff Visecki is most invested in. In his opinion, the fact that Brandon's final wound was a single, terrified expletive tells him all he needs to know. Someone could have been lurking in the shadows, he later said. They got him that way. Question is, who are they exactly? Some report that Brandon fell victim to a mysterious, serial slayer. Highway 68 is frequented by hundreds of long-haul trappers every single day. Many of the most prolific slayers in American history have been trappers. It's entirely feasible that Brandon was held up, marched or driven off to a different location, and then slaughtered and disposed of in a way that left no trace. What if that final expletive was prompted by the sight of someone who wished to keep one to be tormented daily, long after those that loved him believed he had passed on, one to be trafficked and sold? In the absence of any solid explanation, it's impossible not to examine every possibility, even if some potential theories seem a bit eccentric. But perhaps blaming human traffickers is simply a way to rebrand the hope of Brandon's eventual return. If he is indeed alive and being held somewhere, then there's always that slim chance that he might escape, and that he and his parents will someday be reunited. Frankly, the alternative is too grim to contemplate, because, if true, it means that one night, after making a relatively simple mistake, a promising young man was snatched away from this world, and his loving parents, who will forever grieve his loss, were listening at the exact moment it happened. Well, it is raining quite heavily outside, guys, but hopefully that hasn't ruined the audio for this episode. A huge shout out to Sam Riding for writing the script. Thank you to all of my supporters here on YouTube and over on Patreon, especially my biggest support.
Tis gruesome and very graphic.
Brown's house was raided, and scattered across his home were images of pictures of kids being tied up, and even some that appeared to be dead. Furthermore, agents found CDs with much of the same material, a blow-up sex doll dressed in boys' clothes, a journal he kept about his fantasies dating back to 1978, and even books about serial killers and cannibalism. He was eventually found guilty of possession of and was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison with a lifetime of supervision thereafter. Had he lived out his full sentence, he would be out sometime in 2033. However, as of August of 2020, it's reported that he is now deceased. My heart goes out to the children who had to suffer for the pleasure of this monster and all of those who associated with him. For his entire life, he was calculated in his career, his church fan favors, his company parties, all a front for some of the darkest desires imaginable. In hindsight, I understand why Joy Junction's records were wiped. It was a show with a good premise and good intentions. I won't deny that. However, now bears a reputation forever stained by the devil, hidden within them. First off, I'd like to formally announce my second called Expo After Hours. Here,
That's
I'm
crazy.
bringing you guys analytical videos about smaller web series and horror video games. Currently, I have an upload about a smaller creepy web series, and I'll be dropping the next one in about 5 minutes from now. So, if you're into that sort of thing, it's a big creative outlet for me, and we're gonna have some fun. If you're not, however, we still got the big projects on name. Second, the new merch is now available. /collection/Nexpo. We've got some super cool new designs if you're interested. Link in the description. Lastly, if you're interested in gaining early access to videos, script files, and work in progress cuts of upcoming projects, your support would mean the world to me over at patreon.com/Nexpo. Of course, it's never expected, but always appreciated as I try to keep these videos sponsor free. By a man named Michael Curtis, it premieres during a transitional period between silent movies and talkies, or films with actual spoken dialogue. Because of this, it's mostly regarded as a hybrid film with long scenes being played over music, and with it comes a healthy dose of extensive criticism. Most of the backlash is due to its runtime, clocking in at a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with considerable portions containing awkward dialogue and drawn-out scenes. Sitting through this movie is, to put it lightly, a considerable undertaking. Because of this, the film and the cut content is never shown again. A good portion of the cut footage came from what the movie is mostly known for today, and that's the flood scene.
A little startle.
Towards the ark to stay alive. It's a grandiose set with a lot going on, and keeping in mind the time period, all of this was pulled off with practical effects. These people were legitimately submerged. Some might consider the acting here to be pretty well done. Scene is grand, and due to the time period, was all pulled off practically. These actors weren't actually acting, as during this scene, 3 actors drowned. Like, this was the result of over 600,000 gallons of water being dumped across the set, something that the film's extras were reportedly unaware of. It's been reported that, before filming commenced, Michael Curtis was warned against putting so many people in danger. However, he shrugged it off, claiming that the extras were expected to be prepared for anything, and that, quote, they're just gonna have to take their chances. The original cut of the
Boo
movie,
boo.
it's rumored that you can see these
Where you running, boo boo?
original flood scene.
Are you running too?
Where? Huh?
Oh shit.
Yeah. See that? Yeah.
Nobody couldn't see it. Nobody couldn't see it. Nobody couldn't hear it.
Jace came a loss of life that did
Yes.
not need to happen, leaving Noah's Ark 4 hours staying in an enduring
Yeah. Let him know.
What I say?
Huh? About to end it.
No, you ain't. You a lie.
Good things come to those who
That's what you do. You said 3.
get going, get
I
hustling.
didn't say nothing.
You did.
Let's get paid.
No, I didn't. I said see you at 3 o'clock.
Let's
Yeah.
get
You
paid.
gonna be on that shit all night, every night.
Now,
I'm tired of it.
ideas to create. Now,
I'm tired.
there's no better time. Now. So what are you waiting for? Pick up, drop off, dash out. Dash now. DoorDash.
Yeah, the punishment for any crime committed is death.
That's for some. Will build a double sentence for execution.
Trying to find out what kind of creature you really are.
Searching for a website for women to the world and get online. Take the spin now you're in with techno set you're going to.
On the 2nd of July 2014, an ad was made. It came from an 18-year-old girl named Brooke Slocum and was but a simple request for cash.
I need $50 by 3:30 p.m. today. I can pay you back later tonight, but I need gas and some mess quick. Everyone has bronchitis at my house, and I do not want to get sick. I'm 8 months pregnant, and my lungs are all squished as is. If you could help, me and my daughter will greatly appreciate it.
This post remained untouched for 10 days. At 10:08 p.m. on the night of July 12th, Slocum receives an email from a man going by the name Mike's Hard. I can host. What are you thinking? I'm 25. This was a reply to other separate ads that Brooke made around the same time period in which she would solicit sex for money. According to her friends, it wasn't willingly, as her then boyfriend, 25-year-old Charles Openier, would coerce her to do this while reluctant, Slocum responds 20 minutes later.
Well, we're looking for a donation. Type thought, and we have a baby on the way. As far as the fund goes, though, there won't be any mail.
How does $120 sound? I can drive you over here if you need.
No, we can travel, just can't host is all. When and where would you like to meet up?
I like to freak outside in a park around 11:30. That okay?
I really don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for indecent exposure or anything. I can't go to jail being 8 months pregnant.
It's cop free. It's a park, but behind it there are lots of woods. No cops at all. This last email arrived at 10:59 p.m. and as we can see, Mike's Hard was keen on meeting that same night. Needless to say, Slocum ended up accepting, and their trip to Gazon Park in Wyoming, Michigan was on. It's midnight. The couple arrives, with Mike pulling up shortly after. Initially believing this to be another sex meetup, the two approach Mike without much concern. Sometime during the next few minutes, Brooke is grabbed, bound, and shoved into the trunk of Mike's car. In haste, Charles tries to help, however, is unsuccessful, resulting in a violent altercation between the two. It's unclear how long this fight lasted. However, what is certain is that during this, Charles was violently killed. Mike saws his head off and covers the remains with sticks. And without so much, he jumps in his car and, alongside Charles,